Long ago, the earth was a broken place, filled with violence and wickedness. The people had turned away from the Creator, ignoring justice, kindness, and truth. Every heart seemed consumed by selfishness, and the beauty of creation was spoiled by humanity's corruption. It grieved God deeply. In this dark time, however, one man stood out: Noah. He was righteous, faithful, and walked with God. One night, God spoke to Noah, revealing a plan both daunting and hopeful. "I'm going to send a great flood to cleanse the earth of its wickedness, but you, Noah, have found favor in my eyes. Build an ark, a massive vessel to save your family and the creatures of the earth." Noah listened, his heart heavy with the weight of what was to come, but he trusted God without question. God gave him precise instructions: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, 30 cubits high. "Cover it with pitch inside and out," God said, "to keep the waters at bay." For years, Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, worked tirelessly on the ark. Wooden beams were hammered into place, one after another. They sawed, hauled, and built under the scorching sun and relentless wind. Neighbors and strangers mocked them endlessly. "Look at the madman building a boat in the middle of dry land," they jeered. But Noah pressed on, undeterred. He knew that obedience to God was worth more than the opinions of men. Noah's faith was not only seen in the wood and nails of the ark, but also in his unwavering trust in God's promise. The day finally came when the ark was completed, and an extraordinary sight unfolded. Animals of every kind, from the fiercest lion to the smallest bird, began arriving 2 by 2. They walked in harmony, side by side, as if drawn by an unseen force. Noah and his family guided the animals into the ark. 2 lions, 2 elephants, 2 doves, 2 snakes, and so on. It was a sight to behold. Beasts that would normally fear or fight each other now walking calmly toward salvation. As soon as the last animal entered the ark, God shut the door. Dark clouds gathered overhead and the heavens opened with a roar. Rain poured down like never before. Streams became rivers, rivers became oceans, and the waters began to rise. Day after day the rains continued, 40 days and 40 nights without stopping. Outside the world was swallowed by the floodwaters. Trees disappeared beneath waves, and the people who once mocked Noah now banged desperately on the ark's walls, pleading to be let in. But it was too late. Their time to repent had passed. Inside the ark, the world was quiet, but not idle. Noah's family cared for the animals, fed them, and cleaned their enclosures. They waited, trusting in God's promise, even as the endless sea stretched out around them with no land in sight. Days turned to weeks, and weeks turned to months. The only sound was the gentle creak of the ark, drifting on the waves, and the occasional roar or chirp from the animals. But Noah and his family kept faith, knowing that the flood would not last forever. After 150 days, God remembered Noah. A great wind swept across the earth, and slowly the waters began to recede. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, and Noah sent out a raven to see if the land had dried. But the raven found no place to land. 7 days later, Noah released a dove, but it too returned. On the 3rd attempt, the dove came back with an olive leaf in its beak, a sign that the waters were finally receding. At long last, the day came when the earth was dry. Noah and his family opened the door of the ark and stepped out into a fresh, new world. The air was crisp, the ground firm beneath their feet, and the sun shone brightly on the land. Every creature in the ark followed, stretching and running free once again. Grateful to God, Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice of thanksgiving. God was pleased and made a covenant with Noah. "Never again will I destroy the earth with a flood," God said. "As a sign of my promise, I place my rainbow in the sky." The rainbow stood as a promise, a symbol of hope for every future generation. Noah's journey had not been easy, but through faith, obedience, and perseverance, he had survived the flood and entered a new chapter. From that moment on, every rainbow would remind humanity of God's mercy and the importance of walking in faith. Noah's story is a powerful testament that even when the storms rage, those who trust in God will find dry land once again. And so, Noah's story teaches us about faith, endurance, and the power of new beginnings. When the floods of life threaten to overwhelm us, we can trust that brighter days are ahead and that God's promises never fail.